Hey everybody, this is Gamer Junkie. I want to welcome you all back to my channel. So we got some big news today. There has been a reveal of a new Walking Dead game in the works by a company called Skydance, who it is like a part of Skybound Entertainment basically. And it does look good, a bit too cartoony, but really for me, I gotta say I'm disappointed because you need to be in VR to play this, and I don't have VR, so that sucks. But it also kind of looks it looks alright. Like I mean, like not everybody's gonna like every game. Some people might like this, some people might hate it. Myself, I don't really have an opinion on it because I haven't actually seen it yet, so I want to reserve judgment before I see it because since I'm probably not going to get VR, I might as well just watch other YouTube videos. But so from what I've seen, it's very interesting. So I've actually what it's about is I've got this here because I received an email. That's how I found out about it, and I found out it's VR, and I was like, what? Okay then. I'm not gonna make a reaction video for a VR game. God. Yeah, no, nothing wrong with VR. It's just I've never really played it. So Skybound Interactive. I'm just reading what this says here. A division of Skydance Interactive, a division of Skydance Media and Skybound Entertainment today unveiled the first official trailer for The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners, giving players a first look into the unforgiving wasteland they'll face in the upcoming virtual reality title, slated to launch earlier next year. The first official gameplay trailer shows the gruesome adventures players will embark on as they journey through the flooded remains of New Orleans. Players must make gut-wrenching choices and take on the path of saint or sinner in their fight for survival against not just walkers, but constant threats of violence, disease, and famine. Now, from what I've seen from a gameplay trailer, the choices really just they're just meh, like they don't like it's not really something that interests me because it's not like with Telltale how you got like four choices to choose from. Like you can choose from three, I mean, but really it's just it's still in pre-alpha production anyway, so it's like it still has to be worked on, but it's going to be released in 3 months. So it's like I'm a bit skeptic here because I'm like they should really just have another year or a few extra months to work on it. But that's just me. And I'm also not too keen on the voice actor too because the trailer for me the trailer pointed out that the main character would be this girl, the one with the unicorn necklace, but in the demo I saw of the gameplay, it's a guy talking. So does that mean he's the main character, or is this like you choose what character you want to play as, or something like that? I'm not too sure. But anyways, I got more to read here. Like I'm not judging it, as I'm saying. I'm just pointing out like my skepticism and that. Anyway, moving on to continuing with the reading. In The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners, freedom of choice and visceral combat offer players a new way to live survival horror in a deep-rooted VR gaming experience. Scale buildings to ambush enemies from above. Sorry there. Throat just got choked or something, I don't know. Hold down a walker's head to rip a knife out of its skull or attack from a distance with throwing weapons, bows, and long-range firearms. Players can choose from an arsenal of weapons or craft their own to fit their playstyle and survive their way. Physics-based combat makes every swing of an axe or jab of a knife resonate with impact. And that does look good. I do like how the kills look. They do look impactful, if you know what I mean. And speaking of impactful, choices in The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners will impact not just how the combat plays out, but the fate of the city and its other survivors. New Orleans is at war, and the living are not just fending off the dead, but each other as well. Will players risk life and limb to protect those in need, or eliminate anyone who stands in their way? Will they join one of the warring factions, or play them against each other for personal gain? Filled with discovery, The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners will have plenty for players to explore, craft, fight, and uncover when it launches earlier next year. Now, the mention of factions is pretty interesting because, as you know, with the Telltale Walking Dead games, you always like, even though you got to make choices, you're still just basically on one side of a conflict in some of the games and episodes. But with this, they're trying to make it more like you can do what you want. You don't have to side with anyone, and that you can go off and do your own thing. That sounds interesting, but at least I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off, at least in VR. Like, I'm not hating on VR, it's just like, I've never even used VR, actually, so, like, what the hell do I know? Yeah, anyways, there's some more stuff here. There's another site that if you actually look on the Skybound website, you can find some more stuff about the game. It says here, are you a saint or a sinner? You are not alone in this new broken world. On your journey, you will encounter desperate survivors and factions trying to make it day by day while being ravaged by violence, famine, and disease and the walkers. Whether you work together or fend for whether you work together or fend for yourself, your choices will have meaning and consequences for both you and the world around you. Like, they're bringing that up again in the web page, so yeah, I assume, because what I just read to you before, that was from an email I got. Now this is on the web page, and it's bringing it up again. Whether you work together or fend for yourself, they're making it clear that you don't have to join the factions. And they got here, the dead, walkers define the Walking Dead world, and Saints and Sinners VR puts you right alongside them. If you're not ready, just one of the undead can end you with one goodbye. Train yourself to face the herds, walk among the dead, or end them all. So that'd be pretty cool if you could just cut open a walker, cover yourself in its blood, and then just walk around the city with the others. That'd be pretty cool. Like, it could happen. That depends if the character you're playing as knows that you can use blood to disguise yourself. So we got here the living. The living are more dangerous than the dead, but you've got several ways to deal with them. Help those in need or take what you need by force. Fight alongside gangs to get some pay and get on their good side, or risk it all to fight against them. You decide who lives, who dies, and who turns. So gangs, that could be either good or bad depending on how you see it. You know, you could have like a gang of rebels fighting against a dictator in a city. You know, if you think Walking Dead: A New Frontier, how Joan and Clint, they were running basically a dictatorship, and they're pillaging other settlements nearby to help keep theirs afloat. So you could play like so basically, if one of the factions in this, I believe, is called the Tower, and you can side against them. The fuck is up my throat? I have no idea. So yeah, you could side against another faction if you can help a gang of rebels. Like, you know what I mean? Just no, I cleared my throat. Now I lost my train of thought. Anyways, moving on. You you decide the kind of person you want to be as you make your way through New Orleans. Who you decide to help and hurt, and just how you decide to do it matters. In the end, it'll be your actions that decide if you're a saint or a sinner. And we actually got some screenshots here if you want to take a look. Now, I think with this screenshot here, the weapon that you're using is one that you customize, because you can see on the weapon there's a sticker, and I believe that says warning. So you must have maybe customize, like, well, you can probably take street signs, like, you know, like stop signs and all that, and create them and put them into weapons. I guess you could somewhat compare it to the game, I think it's called Dead Rising, that zombie one, because you could customize crazy weapons in that. Now, obviously, this game's not going to let you make a panda stuffed toy that shoots machine guns, but I guess the crafting system could be similar to that, where you could craft what you wanted, and within reason, of course, and if you had the resources. So yeah, that's going to be pretty interesting. Crafting, like, I'm obviously not going to play the game, but I will be looking at walkthroughs of it on YouTube. Now here we can see that this is a journal again. I assume that you'll have this no matter what. And so it basically gives you like inventory status. It shows a map, quests. your factions, whether they like or hate you and that, and this faction, the faction standings, that's what it's called, yeah. Sorry, I had to squint to see that. And it also says vitals, which I think is pretty interesting. So it can show you off, like, if you have a broken arm or broken leg or injured. If you think in the Fallout games, you know, where you can check your Pip-Boy and it shows you all, like, whether or not you got a broken limb or if it's fractured or something. So this one here, I think is pretty interesting, and it's this guy Anthony, and you're threatening him, and this is actually, you can actually find a gameplay trailer of it, and you can actually watch what happens. So basically, this is what happens. This is why you're threatening him. So I don't know if this is a main mission or just side content or a random encounter, but basically you meet this guy who's the twin brother of Anthony, because I mean, just look at him, and he goes to you, this group of people called the Reclaimed. They took my brother, and it's like, I want you to go get him back, because you're just like, when he asks who you are, it's like, oh, I'm a freelancer, you know, just up for work or whatever. Just okay then. And so he's like, oh yeah, if you get my brother back, I'll reward you. And so you go to this place and you meet these other people and you got to get the brother back, but things are more complicated than you initially think. You see, it turns out that Anthony killed this guy's daughter, the guy with the beard, and he's like, you know what, I believe in second chances. And he's like, if you kill Anthony, who's a member of the Towers people, that's what the group is called, then I will consider what you have breaking into my house, I'll forgive you, and then after you kill him, we will go to the tower and kill all those bastards, and you can help yourself to their loot. And so you can decide to kill Anthony or not kill him. So ultimately you can side with the tower, you can side with the Reclaimed, or you can do neither of them and just, you know, just like go your own way. Like, don't get involved, just be an outsider. Which I think is an interesting premise. For me with stories, judge I do not judge a game based on its graphics. I judge it on its narrative. Because as I've said this before in previous videos, but there are many games out there that have so great narratives, like they are so amazing that their graphics, like they don't really care about me. Like, My Big Sister, Little Red Light. These are games that I enjoy, and like even Dex. Like I haven't even finished that because there's this one part hacking part I can't get past. It's a real bitch, but you know, I really did enjoy that game. I still do enjoy it. Like, hopefully one day I can get back on it and finish that bitch hacking thing, because oh my god, I don't even know how to do it. Yeah, so, and as you can see, it says the tower hates you now, because this is if you sided with the Reclaimed. So this is really all I wanted to talk about. And, well, actually, no, one last thing here. You can actually find a note from that guy, Anthony, and he ends up, if you read it, he'll end up, you'll hear what he's saying, like, because you're reading the note, but you'll hear what he's saying. And
Hey, big brother. There's not much to say beyond I'm sorry, but I have to do this. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I'm a wreck, Jeff. I keep seeing that little girl's face. These visions of her turning. This whole mess is fucking with my head. What did the Martins do to deserve being exiled? It makes no sense. They are good people.
so you just heard Anthony's letter to his older brother and his internal struggle. Like, he ended up killing the daughter. We don't know how old she was, but he was obviously struggling with it. It wasn't something he could easily go through with. So yeah, that's really all I had to say in this video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I just want to let you all know that it is, because it's the 3rd today, Life is Strange issue 9 comes out on the 9th, so that's in 6 days. I'll also be making another Life is Strange video today, but like until I do hope you all enjoyed this Walking Dead one. Let me know what you think in the comments below. This is Total Gamer Junkie, signing off.